Good afternoon, I'm Josh Duncan, and these are some of the top headlines out of the Kelowna Now newsroom today. A Kelowna home was gutted by fire early Tuesday evening. Crews responded to the blaze in the 1700 block of Spruce Glen Drive in Glenmore around 5:35 p.m. Firefighters ensured all residents escaped the home and extinguished the fire with several hose lines. Unfortunately, they were unable to prevent the property from suffering significant damage. Platoon Captain Robert Skeldon said. Skeldon noted the electrical issues were determined to be the cause of the fire, and it has been deemed accidental in nature. The affected residents are now being assisted with temporary accommodation. Non-stop flights between Kelowna and Cranbrook will return this fall. Pacific Coastal Airlines will be bringing back its non-stop service between the two communities on October 27th, with 55-minute flights operating 7 days a week. From Sundays to Fridays, the flights will leave Cranbrook at 9 a.m. and leave Kelowna at 5:35 p.m. On Saturdays, the Cranbrook to Kelowna flight leaves at 11 a.m. and takes off the other way at 3:40 p.m. Kelowna Airport Manager Sam Samadar said YLW is excited to see Pacific Coastal Network expand in Kelowna. A major milestone in sustainable industrial development was unveiled at the Okanagan Eco-Industrial Park in Coldstream today. The business park is now home to BC's largest commercial industrial solar installation. It's a 148,000 square foot solar array that's as big as 2 football fields and features 2,460 high efficiency solar panels. It's expected to produce 1.7 gigawatt hours of renewable electricity each year, and that is equivalent to powering more than 150 new homes. Restoration Lands Inc. is the family-owned BC business behind the industrial park, and it utilized an $805,000 BC Hydro incentive to cover around 40% of the project's cost. A potential second phase of the project could double the current solar capacity and incorporate battery storage solutions as well. The BC Ferry and Marine Workers Union has created the Build Them Here campaign. It urges British Columbians to contact their elected officials and demand that BC Ferries' controversial $1 billion deal with a Chinese shipmaker gets scrapped. The union says there's a lot at stake, as the deal could cost BC $1.2 billion in lost wages, $1.1 billion in GDP, and more than 5,000 skilled jobs. Union President Eric McNeely called it a national interest decision with generational consequences. The issue is getting attention in Ottawa as the House of Commons Transport Committee launched a study into the billion-dollar loan last week. However, the union says more voices are needed and urged the public to take action. More information has been released about a fatal highway crash on Vancouver Island last week. Police previously said one man was killed in the multi-vehicle crash south of Courtney, and another man was arrested for impaired driving. They've now gone public, saying the allegedly impaired driver was behind the wheel of a GMC Sierra Denali pickup truck towing an RV, and it collided with multiple vehicles before killing a man who was standing at the side of the road. The driver was arrested for impaired driving causing death, the Highway Patrol clarified. Another appeal for witnesses has been made as investigators try to piece together the puzzle of this fatal, tragic incident. The driver has been released for now from custody as the probe into the crash continues. And finally, in sports, it could be the biggest signing in Vancouver sports history. The Whitecaps made it official today as German soccer legend Thomas Müller has signed with the MLS club. It's a monumental move to acquire the 35-year-old, who is widely regarded as one of the best players of his generation. Müller spent the last 17 seasons with Bayern Munich, scoring 250 goals and adding 238 assists in 756 appearances. He helped the club to 13 Bundesliga championships and 20 other titles as well, including a pair of Champions League titles in there. In 131 caps for Germany on the world stage, he scored 45 times to go with 41 assists and helped his country win the FIFA World Cup in 2014. Müller will wear number 13 for the Whitecaps and is expected to make his debut with the club at BC Place on Sunday, August 17th. A quick look at the forecast. A little gloomy out there. 20 degrees right now, is 70% chance of showers to go with a risk of thunderstorms for the rest of the day and night in Kelowna. Maybe a little windy at times too. That threat of stormy weather exists until the early morning, then cloudy for a few hours before more potential storms tomorrow to go along with a high of 23. And that is all for me today, but you can read up on all these stories and plenty more at KelownaNow.com. Have a wonderful night, and I'll be back in this chair tomorrow afternoon, hopefully with a little less tongue ties, for a look at some Thursday headlines. We'll see you then.
We don't just report the news, we live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.